Next up, we have a very special guest coming all the way from Wisconsin. This is Laura Becker, and she is also a detransitioner who was told that all of her mental health issues would magically disappear if she would only change her body to mimic that of a male's.
Yeah, I still have mental health issues. It's my opener. So yeah, my name is Laura Becker. I have come all the way here from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And unfortunately, I've had to do a lot of traveling this past year, and I certainly will do a lot this year, because California sets the precedent for legislative considerations for the rest of the country. The rest of the world looks to California, and what the California legislature has the power to do, we can't trust them with that power. I'll tell you a bit about my story. I'm from Wisconsin, and so first of all, it can happen anywhere. It happens everywhere, even in the flyover state of Wisconsin, right? A purple state, it's not just a specific sort of value, it's being pushed throughout a systemic angle to infiltrate schools, human resources, and most importantly, medicine. I'm a victim of the medical malpractice. As Chloe said, the largest medical scandal of our time. I could have been stopped if I had proper safeguarding. That's what I advocate for, safeguarding. I'm an independent person. I believe in classical liberal values, and I believe in freedom. A lot of opponents claim that this is about censoring people's ability to do what they want with their bodies, and that it's none of our business. I definitely think it's our business, what we do as a nation, to provide proper health care based in actual science, based in data and evidence-based care. I've been in the medical system since I was 11 years old. I was diagnosed on the autism spectrum at age 11. I was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome at 11. And at 12, I was diagnosed with major depression and anxiety. I had consistent, chronic, familial abuse from a parent. And unbeknownst to me, I had developed symptoms of complex post-traumatic stress disorder by the time I was 12 years old. I was in and out of the medical system, therapists, pediatricians' offices. I even went inpatient for the first time for suicide ideation at 15. I subsequently went in 3 more times from 15 until the age of 22 for suicide ideation. I was in the outpatient program. I was in day treatment. I was consistently seeking help for my mental health issues from the age of 11 years old. Our opponents will say that we just transition on a whim. We just make stupid, foolish choices and decide to get surgery, and it's our problem that it just didn't work out for us. Tell that to an 11-year-old child, to a 15-year-old child, to an 18-year-old who has been experiencing parental abuse from a young age, who's autistic, who's suicidal. Oh, you just should have known better. Now you're just trying to ruin it for everyone else, all the real trans people. How can you distinguish between a real trans person and someone who's just having gender issues at that time? Detransitioners are proof that it's possible to manage gender dysphoric symptoms without needing to rely on heavy-duty medicalization, cosmetic surgery to treat our problems. And I'm not saying it to sound holier than thou. I have the utmost sympathy for people who are doing any kind of coping mechanism. But that is what transition is. It is a coping mechanism to deal with all myriad of social, familial, attachment, substance issues, anything you can think of. Richard had schizophrenia. Okay? So why are we treating mental health issues with cosmetic surgery? And then if someone says, hey, that didn't work, fuck you, right? And I'm here to say that's not appropriate. It's more than not appropriate, it's evil. And my goal here, coming all the way from Wisconsin, is to show that it doesn't just happen in California. It's happening all over this country. And we need to let California residents know that it's possible to be more aware than they currently are. We're not all a bunch of evil individuals. I don't have my breasts anymore. All right, what I'm wearing now is a padded bra. I have nothing there. I had my breasts surgically removed when I was 20 years old. I was on testosterone when I was 19 years old. And I will never be able to get back those years that I spent in a delusional state, having magical thinking that I could live as the opposite sex, and then maybe I would feel lovable as a human being. I just felt more unlovable after I had surgery and hormones. I felt like a degenerate. I felt alienated. I felt disgusted and mutilated. And then I had to do the work of accepting what I had done to myself, even though it was just an attempt to survive abuse from my own father. And now I speak out about that, and suddenly there's no sympathy for me or my fellow detransition peers from the loving trans community, from the left who claims to care about mental health, who claims to care about healthy, loving relationships and boundaries. I have a boundary for you guys. How about some safeguarding in medicine that doesn't allow children to be sterilized because they're confused about going through adolescence? How about the boundary of telling a college-aged kid whose brain is not fully formed that maybe someday they'll want to have kids? Maybe they should wait a little while to have some life experience before they get their genitals surgically altered. California residents, please listen to detransitioners' stories, make your own informed decision. I'm not here to tell anyone what to think or what to do. All I ask is that you use your curiosity and creativity and compassionate energy to hear an outside perspective and consider that maybe the safest option is to have some boundaries around who is healthy enough to be able to truly make an informed decision as an adult, as a fully formed adult who has had experience. And to the rest of the country, especially Wisconsin, I have the same message. We need to be more aware of what's actually going on, and as easy as it is to just listen to the talking points, the very pleasant sounding talking points that we need to provide gender affirming care to these individuals. What is care? Can we break it down? Because if we break it down, care seems a lot like neglect to me. That's what I experienced. Medical neglect, medical malpractice. And so please get these signatures for this measure, and the other states, it's happening there too. So be aware in your communities and don't be afraid to ask questions. Most importantly, my message is to always speak the truth. Speaking the truth should not cause harm. If someone says that they're triggered by speaking the truth, that is a necessary act of compassion, because only through the truth will you be liberated. And you must be able to make that decision yourself, having all the truthful information possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura. You have such great advice.